Well, the My Loss is Your Gain train is continuing today as another box came in the mail. This one's a pretty big box. We're just going to wander over here and check it out. A collection from this gentleman who had acquired quite a few early age MetaZoo things back in the day, including a Kickstarter non-alternating booster box. So we're going to dive into this box here and just kind of enjoy some collection buying during the market turmoil that we've experienced in these weeks leading up into Wilderness. Okay, so I just opened that to get the label off there. This gentleman's been very, very patient with me because he sent me this box. This is not a small purchase, right? He sent me this box of stuff and he knew it arrived today, and he's been very patient, just waiting for me to audit, to look at the contents to make sure it all arrived fine. And he's been like, the hours pass and he's being very patient and just kind of waiting. And I'm like playing with kids and getting everyone to sleep and all that stuff. And so it's finally time to dive into this massive box of MetaZoo treasures. Let's get into it. So, 1, 2, skip a few, and here's what you've got from that box. Yeah, this was a pretty big collection. Let's just kind of talk about it and talk about collection buying and where the seller was coming from. This gentleman was in MetaZoo pretty early, which is, in my opinion, the best time to be able to buy something. You know, I love being able to buy something where both people benefit. And the people that got him really early on something, they've already made their money, you know. And so in this case, gentleman, you know, loves MetaZoo, is fine, had all this extra product sitting around, and, you know, you're looking at the market, you don't know where things are going to go. Things could go up, things could go down, who knows? And at some point, you know, you got to step out and take profit and look at your life and say, do I need a house? Do I need to buy a car? You know, what do I need? And so I love it when you can come to an arrangement that helps both people out. Both people are happy. That's always, it doesn't always work out that way, but that's the best type of collection buying, in my opinion. So this gentleman had a pile of Cryptonation First Edition spellbooks. Most of them were in really nice condition. One of them did have kind of the characteristic hammering that a lot of the first edition products have. They were always kind of scrutinizing. Some of it's so minor that people don't even really notice it's there. You know, if someone sells a collection and they say everything is mint, and then you get a Cryptonation spellbook and the border has that kind of a crunch on the back, they might not have even have noticed, you know, because they just, so many, more than half, in my opinion, more than half the print run got a nice smushing. And then some of them are just really like remarkably beat up. This one, actually, I've seen far worse than this. See how the box is even like it's coming apart on that corner. It's got a nice crunch to it. The shrink wrap is still intact though, and the security stickers are still intact and not voided. So this would be like a great, I'm sure the contents inside are fine. This is a great, you know, spellbook to open, do like a YouTube video, something like that. I will do that. So nice pile of spellbooks to add to the armory. And then this is actually just about half the theme decks. Gentleman had about 22 theme decks, I think. And so I already put some away, but just a nice variety of Dingbell, Ringleader, Cryptonation First Edition, and the Iceman, Salamander Queen. We got our Hopkinsville Goblin King. I love each one of these has a different coin. I'm kind of a coin person, as you may have noticed. So it's fun for me to get the different coins. And, you know, they say first edition versus second edition, and they have the dates on there and stuff like that. So that's fun. He had about 28 Cryptonation First Edition blister packs. For those of you who collect blister packs, you'll know that they have all 4 different types of packs in there. So a lot of the time, people who collect blister packs are collecting like a pack art set. So this, fortunately, this fella had Mothman as well. You know, didn't just sell just the Hodags. He had like a nice variety. I'm pretty sure we had, yeah, there's a Babe. So like a Babe pack. You can't see the art, obviously, with the Mothman promo in the way, but she's in there. And then there's probably a Pizza Bird in here somewhere too. Pizza. Let's just assume. I was pretty sure somewhere in the 28 we had a Pizza Bird. Yeah, well, anyway. So some nice Cryptonation First Edition blister packs. Blister packs are the staple. A lot of them have little like nicks on the edges, stuff like that. Again, just from shipping, a lot of them just kind of got bumped around a little bit. Blister packs are kind of a staple investment from a collector's, investors, you know, alternative investment standpoint, just because the buy-in is so low. You know, the MSRP on blister packs is like $4.99, and the MSRP on a booster pack is $3.99. So I mean, for an extra $1, you're getting a Mothman promo. Well, for Crypto Nation, a Mothman promo and a coin, which is a really, really good deal. So as soon as the volume dries up on blister packs, the price tends to like double pretty much. And consumers will pay it because it just makes sense because you get the promo and you get the coin. So it's a really nice, it's hard to go wrong with blister pack. Now, of course, I didn't pay MSRP for these. I paid, you know, a little bit below market price. But, you know, whatever. They're still, I like them. I like them. Release decks, again, I've been picking up a lot of these lately. I think people, the buy-in was low for these initially, and people must have bought just like hordes of them. And now they're kind of unloading into the market mayhem. Again, you just have, you know, you have one of 5 different reserve list champions, sort of holographics in here. The Swamp Priestess, Wahila, Naked Running Man, stuff like that. Gas Cynthia, and then 3 booster packs. So that's fun. No coin. And then he had 3 Crypto Nation First Edition booster boxes. Now, a lot of these were full holo heavy. Now, they fixed it for Wilderness. It looks like it's all the products look pretty balanced as far as holos and reverse holos. And for Crypto Nation Second Edition, it was the same. But and I'm sure probably going forward, that's the assumption. They've figured out how to fix the distribution of holos and reverse holos and full holos. But this legendary set was not like that. The booster boxes in Crypto Nation First Edition, not all of them. You get some like full reverse holo booster boxes for sure, but a lot of them are super weighted towards full holos. You get 22 to 34 full holos. You'll see on this channel, if you go back and you look at the First Edition boxes we've opened on the channel, we were averaging 22 to 30 full holos per booster box. It's really insane. It's an insane early game era of sorting errors. So that's cool. So I love picking these up because the estimated value within these, in my opinion, is skewed heavy because of that preponderance of full holos. So 3 really nice sharp corner intact stickers and shrink wrap Crypto Nation First Edition boxes. But the flagship of the collection was the non-alternating Kickstarter box. Chupa promos. Yeah, this has nothing to do with the collection. I'm sending these out for free to patrons who bought in the early Wilderness pre-release last February. A bunch of Chupa promos, so that's kind of fun. But here, looking at this, let's talk about Crypto Nation non-alternating Kickstarter boxes versus Crypto Nation like normal Kickstarter boxes. Let's talk about that, because we've seen these, and typically these have been holding a premium, these non-alternating boxes, over the alternating boxes. And the way you can tell the difference is underneath the shrink wrap on the bottom of the non-alternating Kickstarter box is a sticker that says non-alternating. And on a regular Kickstarter box such as this, you don't have that on the bottom. It's just a normal bottom of a box. No big deal. So what happened is, in the production of these booster boxes, now they made 2,500 total MetaZoo Crypto Nation Kickstarter booster boxes. And the beginning of that print run, during the beginning of that, about 400-ish, maybe a little bit less, when they were making the boxes, they forgot to alternate the pack arts. So instead of being like Mothman, Hodag, Babe, right, you know, Piazza or something like that, alternating down the stack, they just have like a stack of Babes and then a stack of Hodags. Like it's just all one pack art for a while. And so they recognized that error before they finished the print run, and they switched over to alternating pack art for like the remaining 2,100 booster boxes. So what they did then to differentiate them, so that when people open them up, they don't notice it's weird without knowing why, they labeled those booster boxes non-alternating. So what we should see is, if we opened this box, we should see a pile of non-alternating pack arts. And then, and this one, it should be nicely, collated. So what we've seen then is that the market has put a premium on non-alternating boxes because they are more rare than the alternating ones, which is the premise for why NFT Crypto Nation Second Edition sticker booster boxes can be worth more. Even though everyone says it's just a sticker, it's just a sticker. Well, this is just a sticker, and the market's been assigning higher value to these since the beginning. Though I guess you could say, well, it's not just a sticker because the packs inside are in different order. But the only thing about these that my stance from the beginning has been that although these are interesting, I don't feel that they will hold a significantly higher value, maybe like a little bit higher, but not like a dramatically higher value from these boxes long term. just because there weren't that many to begin with and the spread wasn't too insane. And because in general, at first anyway, everybody was saving these and opening the normal ones. And you had so few to begin with, I just felt like, well, eventually you're going to hit 50-50 ratio where the non-alternatings are as common as the alternatings. And then what? And then can the market truly value these as more rare when you can't find the normal ones because everyone's been hanging on to these? I don't know. So these still do hold a premium, though, because they are interesting and they came first, and there were originally fewer of them. But the premium has lessened a little bit. You know, like at the very beginning, you could get this for $3,000 and this for $7,000, and now it's like you can buy the non-alternatings for like $1,000 more than the regular. Like the split has really narrowed, and it could stay like that, or it could kind of just become more on parity. But either way, I didn't have one, and it was a really cool thing, in my opinion, to pick this up for a collection item and to be able to show all of you fine peoples of MetaZoo the difference between a non-alternating Kickstarter box and a regular Kickstarter box. Notice as well, in addition to the different size of the boxes, it's nice to have those Kickstarter boxes next to the normal boxes, and you can see how much smaller they are, despite that they both have 36 packs. You can also see the hollow on the sticker is different. Even I think the size of the sticker is like a little bit different. There's a lot of little peculiarities, differences between these two products. So it's fun to see. It's fun to see. We're gonna do it someday. We'll have to do a cardstock video because the sample MetaZoo cardstock is different than the Kickstarter cardstock. Inside the Kickstarter boxes is actually two different kinds of cardstock. People don't often know that. And then that cardstock is different than first edition, and first edition is different than Nightfall, and Nightfall is different than Wilderness. It's been really cool. These subtleties are going to help differentiating fakes from reals for people who actually know what they're doing. It's going to be harder to fake that since the shrink wrap is very distinct with each product, but different with each product. And since the void stickers are distinctly the same within one product, but different from product to product to product, and same with the cardstock and all that other stuff. So we'll have to do a video on that someday, or maybe we shouldn't, right? So the fraudsters never figure it out. But then how will PSA figure it out, right? Actually, it's clear they don't follow this channel anyway. If they did, they wouldn't, all the grading companies wouldn't have stumbled across this recent fiasco with fakes, right? Nudge, nudge. You guys should probably follow Argos and Non so you don't look like fools. And a tea kettler did not come with it. Anyway, there you go. Put in the comments if you have any questions about this stuff, or if you have sealed Cryptid Nation First Edition or Kickstarter collections that you are looking to move. If you need a new Hyundai or a Daewoo or a mortgage payment or something like that. If you need something, I don't often recommend selling when markets are tanking, but if you need to move it and you want a safe place to do it, contact me, Argos at argosanon.com. I'm not buying at the market rate because I need to give myself room in case prices just keep going down, but I'm buying, at 80% or maybe 70% of the market rate right now for sealed stuff in decent condition. So feel free to reach out. Let me know what you have with pictures and prices, and we can see if we can work out a deal. That's all I've got for now. Thank you, MetaFam, for enjoying this prized, precious. No, this is fun stuff. I just love this. I love this stuff. Someday it'll be old stuff, and we can all crack it open together and have a good time. So have a fantastic wilderness week. This is Argos signing off.